Hi guys, it's Mrs. C here with Cycle 1, Week 22, Ideas for Presenting New Grammar. Only 2 weeks left. Can't believe it. I was talking to my director today and I said it always feels like you're going uphill, and then you get to week 18 and then you're just down the slide as far as how fast the rest of the year goes. So anyway, we'll jump right in. So for geography this week, we ended up only having 4 kids in our class. So we had a whole bunch of families that are sick, which I hope they're feeling better. But we ended up with only 4, so it allowed me to do a little bit different than what I normally do. So we actually used a song for the South American Western countries today. It's CC Happy Mom song. If you don't know about her, you should definitely follow her. I love all of her songs. They're always perfect for at-home use. Some of them have, for me, just have too many extra words in them to try to get it in 7 times when we're doing new grammar at CC. But they are excellent for other use. And for older kids that already know where they are, you could probably use them in class too. But this one for this week actually wasn't too long, and it was really cute. And just worked really well. So I'll try to sing it. I'm still totally learning all the words. I had them written up on the board today, so that was helpful. But it says, South America on the western side. You start with Venezuela, makes a V, then you glide west to Colombia. It's slippy like a slide. It's attached to Panama. Sorry, I'm trying to remember all of it. So you have V for Venezuela, and then you go over to, or this way, to Colombia, and it's attached to Panama, which is the little claw that comes down, so that's where that part's from. Then it says, Ecuador's a ball that's squished real small. Peru makes a C attached to long Chile. Bolivia it touches to, it's landlocked, oh, what can you do? That's what it's all about. So anyway, go to her page and watch her. She's way better at singing it than I am, because like I said, I'm still learning it. But it worked really well. It was really cute. To start off, I had just put dots in all the countries because, again, they're kind of teeny tiny. And we followed along and just pointed to the dots first and said them out loud and had them repeat them. And then we did the song. And then I ended with going back through and having them follow along on their dots and repeat them. So that's what we did for geography today. For math, we had the commutative law, and I had the kids, since I only had 4, I had 2 of them be A's and 2 of them be B's. And when I said A, the A's had to hold both their hands up in the air. When I said B's, they had to hold both their hands up in the air. And then they put them down, so they would go A plus B. Obviously, either one. If I'm just an A, I would say A plus B equals B plus A. Okay, so B's would do it the opposite. Did the same thing for the law of multiplication. Then I had them put their right arm up for A and their left arm up for B, just so they could kind of see the pattern there of A plus B equals B plus A, or multiplication. So that's what we did for math. We just went through that several times, putting our hands up in the air. For our noun endings, for Latin, we did hot potato again, because you guys, when you find something that works with the Bistarians, you just go with it, and they love doing that. Again, we only had 4 of them, so they got plenty of times to do it. We had one little sibling joining in with us, so we just sang it several times and did it until pretty much everyone had a turn to get the hot potato. So that's what we did for Latin. For science, we did like hand motions, I guess. They're kind of body motions, but we did cold and warm, stationary, and we stood really still like a statue, not moving. And then occluded is when 2 fronts run into each other, so we made them run into each other, and oftentimes that is when tornadoes happen. So we'd go one hand, and then we would twist and twist and twist around like a tornado. I explained to them that tornadoes don't always happen, but that strong weather usually happens with occluded fronts. So, so again, we have cold, warm, stationary, and occluded, and then we would twist around like a tornado. So that's what we did for science. For English, we had linking verbs, and I used my voice cards, which I think I have over here. So we did our voice cards. These are what my voice cards look like. Again, I don't remember who made these, but they're pretty amazing and I love them. I've taken out a few just because the kids don't love them as much, but there's a huge, like, whole bunch of them. So you can find what works for your class. We ended up doing, I let everyone pick 2 because we only had 4 today, and that way we got through it 8 times, so that worked. But we just used my voice cards and said them. They do lend themselves well also if you want to do hand motions for them too, but since we've done hand motions for science, I wanted to do that for the linking verbs. For history today, I borrowed one of those Echo microphones, which I really need to get some of those because my kids loved using them. And I read through our history sentence, and then I had the kids come up and they repeated it after me into the Echo microphone. Now, I will say that we kind of lost some by the 4th kid. They were kind of off doing something else and needing to be redirected back to class. But it worked really well to work one-on-one with them individually and having them repeat what I was saying, repeat the whole history sentence back to me. Then I turned the music on and we listened to the music through the CD. So she said it and then we listened to the song. Most of my kids listen to the song. They're really good about listening to their music, so I didn't feel like I needed to play it more times than that, and they had heard it and said it themselves. So timeline, that's all we have left. So timeline, we have North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is NATO, so we're going to make an N, an A, a T, and an O. Okay, so if you can't see that, an N is 2 fingers over your thumb. An A is a closed fist with your thumb on the side. A T is just 1 finger over that thumb. And an O is a circle, okay? So that's for NATO. Then we have the Korean War. So we're going to make a K, and if you haven't watched before, a K is a peace sign. But then you're going to take your thumb and you're just going to touch your second knuckle. So it kind of brings your peace sign down, and that's your K, okay? So we have the Korean War. It's back and forth like this. You can also do it this way. I don't know if there's actually, I don't know if one's more correct than the other, but I just end up doing it like this. So, the Korean War. Then we have Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement. So we have MLK, so we're going to do an M, an L, and again our K for Martin Luther King Jr. And the Civil Rights Movement, we're going to do like we did for the Bill of Rights, which was a flat hand up, your left hand, and your right hand's going to kind of come down and cut up like this. Okay, so rights, right? Then we have Jim and Elizabeth Elliot, Missionaries to Ecuador. So we're just going to make an E for the Elliots. The E is all of your fingers on top of your thumb, kind of like it's eating your thumb. So we have an E for the Elliots. And then they're missionaries. We just did an M, which is really easy to go from an E to an M. You're just going to slide 3 fingers over your thumb. And we're going to rub that over our hearts because missionaries have a love for all peoples everywhere. And then Ecuador is super fun. So you're going to go back to your E. So we've had Elliot, missionaries, and then we're going to go back to our E. We're going to have a flat hand this time with the top of our hand facing up. We're going to set our E on top, and it's going to kind of wiggle back and forth. So, and I think this is like, actually means Ecuador, I think. If not, I'm not sure what it means, but I'm pretty sure it means Ecuador. It is the sign they use in the Timeline song, so I think it means Ecuador. All right, so then we have the Antarctic Treaty, and it's cold, and there's snow, so we're just going to be cold, okay? So just be cold for the Antarctic Treaty. The Vietnam War, I bet you can't guess what we're going to do. A V for Vietnam, which don't make it look like a K. Don't get your thumb up there, so keep your thumb down here. So V for Vietnam and war. My kids so know the sign for war now. And then this one is super fun. U.S. astronauts walk on the moon. You're going to have a flat left hand, and you're going to take your right hand to make an R. An R is your fingers cross sticking straight up, kind of like you're, crossing my fingers. Wow. Did you cross your fingers like that? Like this. Anyway, it's your middle finger over top of your first finger, okay? And it's going to slide up your hand like a rocket launching up into the sky, okay? So this is a sign for rocket, and then we're going to do this, which is the sign for a person, an individual. So it's a rocket person, an astronaut, okay? And then walk on the moon. We're just going to make a moon with our left hand, and we are going to walk across the moon, okay? So again, that one is U.S. astronauts walk on the moon. Okay, so that is timeline, and next week is the last week of timeline, which always blows my mind. I always kind of forget that, but it is. So that's all we did for today. I don't think I have anything else to share with you guys, which is fine. So I hope you all have an awesome week. I hope it's warming up wherever you are, and that you're being able to get out and enjoy the weather some. And I will see you back next week with week 23. All right, guys, have a great evening. Bye-bye.